But even if I did do something like that, I'm sure these dumb fucking idiots would still find a way to one-up that. I'm sure, like, in 2 months from now, when we forget this ever even happened, there's gonna be another gender reveal stunt where some dude drops blue napalm on a farm field to signify he's having a boy. He just puts, like, fucking food coloring and napalm and just it completely sets ablaze an entire state or something. It's just such a fucked up thing these stupid people keep doing, and I feel bad for the kids, because people are not gonna like the kids just because of their parents. Like, these kids are destined to be hated for a little while, I imagine, because this family has now sacrificed 7,000 acres worth of land, houses, people evacuating, all for the upcoming birth of their son or daughter. Most likely son. I still believe it's most likely a boy, just given historical data and trends. So when that kid is born and he tells people, yeah, you know, remember that wildfire? My parents started that for me as like a little gift. Oh. They just run away from the kids and not talk to them. Like, it's garbage. Like, you are actually making your kid's birth something people actively remember as a negative thing because it directly affected them in a shitty way, all because you are some narcissistic, selfish fucking asshole with this insatiable appetite for validation on social media to get likes with these grand gender reveals that always end in disaster, really. Even when a gender reveal stunt goes right, it's underwhelming as fuck. Oh, you made blue smoke fire out of a PVC pipe. Wow, you're a real mad scientist and an ace engineer. Incredible work, Harold. Oh, goodness me. Now I'm excited for your kid's birth. Now I'm interested. Here's a like. Congrats, buddy. It's so stupid. I just don't get it. It's a dumb fucking tradition. I don't know who the fuck partakes in it or who enjoys watching these gender reveal stunts. It's terrible. It's fucking terrible. Actively, it damages the world around them in big ways, it seems. That's about it. See ya.
What's up, you delicious dickheads? Sorry. Welcome back to another episode of Trash Day Podcast.
What was that? Did you say you delicious dickhead?
Yeah. I don't know why that was the first two words I came up with.
Why is this episode demonetized, Jerry? Why?
No, please. It was just a greeting, YouTube. It's nothing special. But welcome to Trash Days Podcast.
He's Australian.
Exactly.
This is what you expect.
Exactly. You can't expect me to say nice things, okay? But I'm a host for the day, the Australian boy. He just spilled water all over himself during my fucking intro.
Sorry, I'm just pissing myself right now.
I'm here with the boy who pissed his pants and the boy who shits his pants.
That's me. People are going to be like, is there a story?
Yeah, no, there's a story. Do you want to start that off?
I guess we're starting strong then. Hey, I shit myself. Oh my God. I did. But
You had a full week of shitting yourself.
Yeah.
Since last week,
I'm
apparently.
still shitting myself.
Yeah.
So after the podcast, we went to Izakaya, which we'll talk more about later.
Yeah.
And we had liver. And only,
you and our producer did.
Only me and Maylene had liver. And Maylene didn't tell me. I was like, is anyone else sick? And Maylene was like, nope. And then like and 5 days later, she was like, oh yeah, I was sick, by the way. I just didn't want to think that I gave you COVID or something. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Tell me you're sick.
Well, way to go, Megalyn. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you for endangering your host.
So I'm pretty sure it was like that got me like food poisoning. Food poisoning.
Because Grant and I didn't have the liver.
Yeah. I remember you messaging us being like, hey, is anyone feeling tired? And Joey said he's feeling fine. I was like, yeah, I'm like feeling pretty fatigued, you know. Maybe we've just done a lot. Didn't realize like Connor was just dying in the next room.
So like the day after, I remember I had a call at like 10 a.m. and I was fine. And then I got a bunch of JoJo merch shipped. Cool. Yeah. Great. I opened it.
Day in the life of Connor.
A ton of JoJo merch came in. Very normal day for me. And then after I like opened it, put it down, I was like, fucking, holy shit, I'm tired. Like I was weak. I was like, oh my God. And then later on in the day, I was like, oh, I'll order a curry. You know, I don't know.
That's a good idea.
I have no idea why I thought a curry was like the best idea. And I ordered like a lot. And I also ate a lot of it. Like I had like a whole naan, like shit tons of rice, real fucking spicy curry, sides as well. Like for some reason, I went all out because I was like, what my body needs is energy.
Right.
That's what it needs right now.
The best way to get energy, curry.
Dirty curry.
Dirty curry.
So, and then I was like, okay, I feel a little better, like in the first 5 minutes. And immediately after, I was like, oh no, I'm in like pain. Like my stomach started really, really hurting. I was like, fuck. And then this whole time I'm thinking, do I have COVID? Like, do I have COVID?
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I mean, that's the first thing that goes over anyone's mind
Right
who
now,
gets
yeah,
ill
yeah.
right now. Like, sometimes I have like a slight fever and I'm like, shit.
I'm dead.
It's coming.
I'm
It's
dead.
going.
I cough in public. Bro, I've got it.
I'm dead, dude.
Everyone's gonna think I have COVID.
No, but I was like especially worried with you because you texted me being like, bro, like I almost fucking fainted.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that night, I texted you that the next day.
Yeah.
And the night of, I was like curled up in a ball in my bed, boiling, but like shivering,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
sweating nonstop. My bed was like damp as fuck when I woke up. It was
Right.
disgusting. I know. I'm sorry. And then I had like a horrible fever. Couldn't get out of bed. I had such bad stomach pain at night, and I was like, all right, I gotta vomit. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I vomited, and I was like, great, I feel good. And then I sleep for 1 hour, and then I gotta vomit again.
Yeah.
And then I'm shitting myself all day.
Yeah.
I'm dying. I can't get off the floor. I like nearly fainted, and then like an hour later, I fainted, and I was like, oh my god, all right, I gotta go to the hospital because what if this is like COVID, right?
Yeah.
So there's like a hospital right next to our house, which was lucky.
It's like a 5-minute walk.
Yeah. And I had a friend call them up and see if they like could let me in.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, sure, come on down. And so they were like, yeah, come through the back.
Come on down.
They were like, yeah, man, just bring that insurance, bring that big old insurance card, and just come on down.
Yeah.
And then I went there, and they were like, someone like Fuaka-san or something was gonna greet me. And someone comes out in like a fucking hazmat suit.
Yeah.
And they're like, Kona-san? I was like, yeah, hi. And they bring me in. They lock me in this room alone because obviously they think I might have COVID. 'Cause I have COVID symptoms.
Yeah.
And then they're like, Nihongo daijoubu? And I was like, Nihongo muzakashi. Nihongo wakaranai. And then they were like, oh, okay. So then they bring a nurse in who can speak like pretty broken English, but good enough. And luckily there's one doctor in this building that could speak like semi-decent English.
Yeah.
So he came in, he was like, you have COVID symptoms, so we give you a test. And I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, sure. And then he's like, I will put this in your nose. And I'm like, okay. And then she fucking grabs my head like this, right? Like from a from a fucking distance, grabs my head and shoves this thing in. And I'm like,
Because it's quite long.
Yeah.
It's like this big, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fucking horrible. And he puts it in, and then he puts it in a little bit, and I'm like, okay, this is fine. Then he's like, like, you know how like when they put the sword in the stomach, you put a little bit and then fucking tongue it in.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how like they used to give lobotomies.
Yes,
right?
that's what I was thinking. They push it in and they start
It's
like
the ice
drilling
pick, and they
away.
just do this,
Yeah.
He was like doing that, and then he fucking shoved it in, and I was like, I was like, itai. And then the nurse was like laughing at me. And I'm like, all right.
So you got this camp.
Bear in mind, in this whole time, I have no idea what's really happening. They say I'm going to do a bunch of other tests and stuff, and I feel like a lab rat. 'Cause I'm just like in this room. I don't know what's happening. And then they're like, sure, okay. And then immediately after that, I'm like, oh, it's tight, isn't it? And they're like laughing, because obviously, like I have like very selective words that I can choose from.
Yeah,
'Cause I
yeah.
don't know the actual words, so
Yeah.
I'm like trying to like pick the closest words to describe what's happening.
It's like how many ways can I use the word itai?
Yeah,
Chotto itai.
Yeah. And then she's immediately after, right, when I'm like this, right, she grabs my arm, starts putting the like blood thing around me. to,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
start
the blood
tightening it.
test, yeah.
And I literally was like, because I'm like still like I'm like faint because I'm already feeling like feverish. I'm fainting. Like I'm like, I'm gonna faint. Like please, you just shoved this thing in my mouth. Like I'm dying. Like I literally said like chotomate, like chotomate. And then she's giggling, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, just like sticks it in, and I'm like, okay, I got no say in this. And then she's doing it, and I'm like, all right, nemui, because I didn't know how to say I'm gonna faint. And then she takes it out, and she like props me on the bed, and I'm like, all right. And she's just like, 30 分. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
For the COVID results.
Yeah.
And then she comes in the room and she looks at it, turns around, and she's like looking really happy. She's like, sugoi, it's bad though. And I'm like, no joke. She says bad. And I'm like, she's like, it's bad.
You got it, son.
It's bad.
You did it.
And I'm like, it's bad. I'm like, negative, positive. She's like, oh, negative. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Don't scare me like that.
That is the most like beautiful like Google translated conversation I've ever seen.
I'm sitting there the whole 30 minutes thinking, all right, if I have COVID, I got to tell like Joey, I got to tell Gone, I got to tell everyone I've been in contact with, got to tell them everywhere I've been, got to stay at home for 2 weeks. Like I'm like, fuck, like everything.
Yeah.
And then when she said that to me, I was like, fuck. Like, oh, no.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. And then luckily it was nothing. And then they did like more tests to me. It was really fast though. It was like 2 hours. And I didn't have to wait or anything.
Yeah, as someone from the UK, it's really weird going to any other healthcare system and just being able to get your results and
Yeah.
going seeing the doctor the same day.
Having an X-ray on the day of and
Yeah.
getting the results on the day. That just doesn't happen in the UK.
Oh, really?
I remember I thought I broke my leg and they made me make an appointment for like a week and a half to get the X-ray. And I thought, what? Bro, my leg is like fucked now. What do you mean? Like, I need the X-ray now.
What do you expect me to do with this for a week and a half?
I guess because it's free, right? Everyone gets it.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I guess you can argue which is better, right?
I mean,
But
you have to pay for it here, right? It's like
you pay
know,
1/3, right? Or yeah,
it's very cheap.
it was one. I paid 1/3, and I paid $77 for a COVID test, a blood test, and a CT, CAT scan.
Yeah.
Damn.
Which is like Americans are probably like losing
They're
their
like, what the
shit.
fuck?
Like
Yeah.
a CT scan
Yeah, and
for $77? What the fuck?
I got the breakdown, and the COVID test was 600 yen. So like $5.
Like $5.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like nothing. I'm like,
Because
bro.
I remember I had to take Aki to the hospital once. Like this was like a year ago.
Yeah.
Right.
I think she like squirted like shampoo like directly into her eye.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And
yeah.
she was like, I can't see. I think I've gone blind. So I had to call up the hospital, obviously get an ambulance over and
Yeah.
everything. And the entire ride, she was such an American mindset. The entire ride to the hospital, she's like, oh my God, this is going to be so expensive, isn't it? Like this thing's going to be so, and I'm just like, don't worry about it. We'll just fix your eye up, whatever.
Yeah.
We get to the hospital. It's like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
We get to the hospital. Doctor like does a quick little check and she's like, okay, you're all good. You're not blind or anything. It's just really
wash it
red. It's
out,
really
yeah.
burnt
Yeah, yeah.
out. We washed it out for you. Here, take some meds and you'll be all good.
Yeah.
And then in Japanese hospitals, there's like a kiosk that you have to go to like pay for it.
Yeah.
Right. So we go to the kiosk with like this little receipt and we're just like, oh my God, this is going to be like a couple $100
Yeah.
out of this,
Yeah.
right? Because she's thinking in the American mentality, right?
mentality.
And I had never really gone to a Japanese hospital before, so I had no idea either. I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit, is it
Yeah.
the same? It's like, if she says it's like a couple $100, then I guess I'm prepared to spend
Yeah.
a couple $100.
Yeah.
Dude, it was like $12. And we looked at it and she's like, wait, ambulances are free? Because in America, you have to pay like $200-300 to get a fucking ambulance.
Yeah.
I think it's more. I think it's like 1,000 plus.
Something like
Yeah.
that. Like I've heard stories of like a couple of my American friends who like broke their arm, for example, and they're like,
Yeah.
call an Uber.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, because we're not paying for a fucking ambulance.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
just going to call an Uber with like your arm hanging off a thread.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's tragic because like, I think I remember Aki wanted to get an allergy test in, not in Australia, sorry, in America. And it was like $800 for an allergy test.
Yeah.
Here you'd pay like $10 for an allergy test.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I guess in like the UK,
Yeah, it'd
do
be
you guys
like-
have free? Do you guys have free healthcare?
Yeah, we
all
have free healthcare.
Yeah.
I think doctors won't give you stuff like that though unless they think you need it though.
Yeah.
Like so it's kind of hard to get stuff like that.
Oh, really? Because
Yeah.
in Australia, like you can go get an allergy test whenever for free.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. I've never done one. I can't comment.
It's very some very specific medicines you get for free. Others you kind of have to pay for. I feel like with UK, it's very specific on what illness you have, because sometimes you have like this really common illness. They just tell you to just go home and sleep it off, basically.
Yeah, UK doctors a lot of the time are very reluctant to like do anything. I can't. I mean, at least the doctors I've had.
I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
if you just go to
same
like a
here.
general practitioner, right, like to get a checkup, it's usually
Yeah.
free, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas the only other, I guess, experience I've had with healthcare outside of the UK is Thailand, and normally it's like pretty like it's about the same price as it is here in terms of medicine and going to see the doctors and everything. And what I found is that doctors here, in Asia at least, are way more willing to give off like some kind of medicine for whatever
Yeah,
illness you have.
definitely.
I guess there's an argument to be made that also could be dangerous though, like just
Yeah.
giving off medicine constantly. I mean, that's why there's like an opioid epidemic right now in America. right?
Yeah, yeah.
Overprescribing, but I mean, healthcare is a loaded topic.
That's
to
a,
get
that's
into.
a loaded topic that I certainly do not know enough about to
Yeah.
contribute to the
Either way,
conversation.
I had a good time. My doctors were very nice, except they scared the shit out of me. You know, that was not
Literally
fun.
scared the shit out of you.
I'm still
Several
shitting.
times. Several times.
Actually, another thing that was good is like there was a pharmacy like right around the corner, and they obviously knew I couldn't speak Japanese. I told them I was like, oh yeah, Nihongo, wakaranai, and then they made me fill out a form in English, and I was like, fuck, how do I tell them I have like this blood condition?
Yeah.
And so I googled the kanji for it, and I like wrote this kanji, which was fucking hard kanji. That was like
Yeah.
like swooshes when there's not lines, straight lines. I'm like, fuck.
There's a curve in this, damn it.
Yeah. And then I had to write this in like it must look like a a 2-year-old wrote this
I
kanji.
really want to see that now, just to see.
I don't know. Whatever the kanji for hemophilia is on the screen right now.
Right.
Yeah, it was, and so I gave it, and I'm like, I was like, I made sure I was like, daijoubu, and they're like, oh yeah, daijoubu. And I'm like, no, whatever the kanji for hemophilia is on the screen right now.
Right.
Yeah, it was, and so I gave it, and I'm like, I was like, I made sure I was like, daijoubu, and they're like, oh yeah, daijoubu. And then they gave me the medicine, and then they gave me a printed like A4 paper in English explaining what all the medicine was and why I shouldn't take it. And I was like, oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Because normally in Japan, it's just like, oh, you don't speak Japanese?
Good
Oh,
luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Well, shit, I think this medicine will work. And you might have a reaction to it. Because like,
Ripperonis, kid.
it's like, better find out. Because like most American medicine, like I can't take. Like, and I always find that out. Because when I was a kid, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, yeah, I'll take it. Like,
Is this a pill? I'll fucking take it. What does it do? Whatever. I'll give it a go.
yeah, when I was 12, I was like, oh, it's medicine? Yeah, I'll take it. Like, it's good. Medicine's good. And then when I got older and I started like, you know, when someone told me like you can't take ibuprofen, and my dad had been giving me ibuprofen for like 5 years.
Oh my God.
And it was like, oh shit, I could have like died.
Yeah.
So I can't take like ibuprofen, and there's so many drugs in America that contain stuff that I just can't have. So like I
Really?
can't have like
As a
most
kid-
generic ones.
As a kid, did you love the taste of like Calpo? I think that was the
Calpol,
name.
yeah, Calpol. I fucking
What's
love
that?
that.
Oh my
Orangey
God.
one? It's like an orangey kind
It's like there was an orange Calpol and like a blackcurrant one as
Blackcurrant
well.
one was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
fucking
What is that, like cough medicine or something?
That's kind of like general cold medicine.
Yeah, just like general cold medicine. But
British.
as a kid, it tasted way too good.
I used to love getting sick.
Yeah. Every time I would have a sick day, I'm like, Mum, bring out the Calpol. Cracking bottles.
Get the top shelf shit, man. Get the Calpol.
Like I'm only because you're only supposed to take like one spoonful. But
Yeah.
sometimes I just act like extra ill, so I can be like, I think I need another one. That shit tastes too good to be a medicine.
We had something like that in Australia, but it was cough syrup.
Yeah.
Right.
And like you normally it's like strawberry flavored cough syrup, right?
Yeah.
And like it still tastes like cough syrup. It has the aftertaste of cough syrup, but
Yeah.
the initial thing is like a goop of like strawberry flavored like jelly, basically.
Yeah.
So
wow.
kids would just like fucking downing shots of that shit.
Very safe.
We're just like, please, father, I am sick. Yeet.
Turning kids into dry habits.
Yeah, legit.
Did you ever in school like want to like break an arm to like be like have everyone like care? You know what I mean?
I wasn't that desperate for attention.
Because like everyone would like write on the kid's broken cast. I was like, I want that. I want everyone to write on my arm.
Mom, can I break my arm, please?
And I think like whatever, like if there is a God, he knew I wanted to break. So I've never broken a bone in my
Yeah,
body.
yeah.
And I've like done disgusting shit that should have broke bones.
There was a time where like I would see the cast thing and I'd be
You're
like,
I want
that
a
looks
cat.
so cool.
Yeah, okay, but that's not what I'm saying. Like I don't want to break a bone, but
Yeah.
I want to have
Yeah,
like a
I
thing.
want to have a cast, and I remember like I like was like climbing a tree,
Yeah.
and I fell off and I landed on my arm. Just
Look at a cast.
yeah, in the back of my head, I was like, yes,
See,
finally.
I just worded it wrongly.
Yeah, but I wasn't like willingly like, all right, let me find the closest tree.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to yeet myself off a tree. I was just like, it would be cool though if I did break it.
And then when I found out it was just like a really bad bruise, I was like,
Like-
that's not cool.
you get a cast,
It's just a bruise.
Yeah.
I don't get anything from this.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because I've also never broken a bone in my body, and I don't know. The thought scares me now because I don't know what it
the
feels
older
like.
you get, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I see so many people. Because I went to a high school that was very predominantly sports based, right? So
Right.
boys would be like breaking like their wrists or like their ankles, their arms, their legs, whatnot, like constantly. And every time I would ask, because I don't know why I've never broken a bone in my body either. I would always ask like, does it hurt? And they're always just like, nah, not really. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
bullshit. I've had splinters and they fucking hurt. Like, of course that fucking hurts. Like, what are you talking about?
I think there's people who don't realize like their fingers are broken or something at some points. Like,
Oh, yeah,
there's a guy
yeah,
in my
yeah.
school didn't realize his finger was broken until like it had set like wonky, like because he didn't go to the hospital, and it just set.
How do you not realize that shit?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
It's like, oh, my finger kind of hurts. Looks kind of weird too.
No, it's just
Yeah,
like,
it'll be
it's like
alright.
90 degrees. That's kind of strange. What's up with that?
And meanwhile, there's me. I get a paper cut. I'm like, get the fucking bandages. Can you see bone? Can you see bone? Like what?
Get the alcohol, quick. Oh my god.
I'm too British. I feel like if my hand was like impaled, I'd be like, no, well, I mean, you know,
Just a flesh wound.
Put a bit of sanitizer on it, and I think it should be fine.
Honestly, I think like the smallest injuries hurt the most. I feel sometimes.
Oh,
though.
paper cut or splinter hurts like a
What's the like worst injury you've ever had? Like that hurt the most?
the worst injury I've ever
Yeah, I'm
had.
intrigued. Do you have one?
I remember once when I was a kid, we were playing tag or it, as we call
A
it.
brutal game.
And
Sport for barbarians.
yeah. And I was playing with my cousins, and this one time I ran I full on sprinted, right? And my cousin was like standing next to a pole.
Yeah.
And then I full on sprinted to try and get him, and then I tripped and I like face planted into this pole, right? And like I don't think I got any brain damage or anything like that. Didn't get a concussion, but what I did get was this like Tom and Jerry type massive like bump on my head. It was massive. Okay, I've like to this day I've never seen another injury like this but like my forehead was just like this, and the entire evening my parents were just spending that like I was on my mum's lap, and she had to literally press it back in slowly over the course of this entire night.
You should have just been like, it's my giga brain just trying to like come out. It's trying to escape from my head.
You know that point where you've got an injury and you don't know how bad it is,
Yeah.
and then you see it and you're like, oh shit, this is like way worse than I thought it was initially.
Oh, yeah,
Because
yeah.
initially I'm like, yeah, I'm good, I can handle this. And then I saw myself in the mirror, and then when I saw that massive lump, that's when like the wave of pain just like came towards it. So I don't know if it was like a psychological thing, but it was.
Probably the worst one I had was I was out like camping with friends, because I always used to go camping every year with my family and like family friends, and like we were like maybe 10 years old or something, and my friend and I were like just grabbing rocks. There was like this big cliff face, and we were just like kind of just throwing rocks at the cliff, because what do you do when you
go well.
what do you do when you go camping, right? Like while the dads are sitting up the tent, we're like, all right, fuck it, let's just throw rocks
Yeah.
or whatever. And one of the rocks had bounced, like my friend threw the rock against the cliff, it bounced back, and my hand was like pressed up against like another stone, because I think I was sitting down, and the
Yeah.
stone came back and just slammed into my fingers, and I was like, ow, initially, but then I looked down and both of my fingernails are just completely chipped off. And like it was really weird, right? It was kind of like your thing where it's
Yeah.
like it hurts until you look at it, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, now it really fucking hurts.
Oh, that's so gross.
Yeah, so both of these fingernails were gone for like a month maybe, until they like regrew back. And yeah, that was probably the worst. So
Gross.
Yeah.
I think the most pain I've been in, I was like snowboarding, and I went,
Those never go well. Snowboarding injuries are the
It's
worst.
just like, oh god, it's like 4 years ago as well. You know, like having some like snow, ski resorts.
Yeah.
They have some area that's like designated for like tricks and do like there's like a half pipe. there's a
Yeah,
bunch of
yeah,
hills.
yeah.
So I know I like going there. And I normally can do like a 360 in the air. Like,
Yeah.
okay. Like it's not clean.
Stop bragging.
But now I'm too scared to do it, because one of them, like I didn't go off right, and I just kind of like span halfway, and my back was facing. And so I was up in the air, maybe like I don't know, like, and I landed in the bottom of the ramp.
Oh,
For
shit.
the next jump.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah.
just hard ice.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I must have been up in the air, like I don't know, like 3 or 4 meters off the
Right,
ground.
right.
Just slammed on my back. Thought I broke my back. Like
Yeah.
I was so winded, I
Yeah.
couldn't breathe because my lungs had just been like fucking pancakes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, and they were like, "Should we get the ski ambulance?" And I was like, "No, I'll walk it off." I'm like, "I'll walk it off." And then I'd like broken the fall by like putting my hand there as well, so I
right.
sprained my wrist as well.
Yeah.
It was fucking horrible.
Yeah, yeah. I've had a lot of snowboarding and skiing injuries.
hurt the
I had
most,
something
man.
similar like that, but I obviously wasn't in the air for as long.
Yeah.
And also, I always make sure whenever I do the jumps, like I can do like 180s and 360s as well,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I always make sure that the bottom of it is like powder snow. Just so
Oh,
if I
yeah.
fuck up the landing, then it's just like a pillowy like.
This feels
So-
nice.
Sometimes you're like, I really want to do this sick jump, but there's no snow at the bottom, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna fucking do it.
Yeah,
Top
I
10
don't live
moments before disaster.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
right?
because like up until that jump, I was doing like 180. I was like, I'm gonna do the big one. I'm gonna do the 360, and then I went for it, and it just completely failed.
Yeah.
And then I had to be like dragged out of the way because people were waiting to go as well. 'Cause it's like a line system, you know.
Yeah.
My mates had to like drag me with their
Yeah.
skis on. It's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, it's
Yeah.
horrible.
I think my most painful memory is actually also my earliest memory. So this is my earliest memory of my life that I can
What?
remember. Yeah. So I think I was about 3 years old. And it's obviously very vivid, but it's given me a phobia of bees. Okay.
Okay.
So to give you an idea about where I'm going with this story.
Okay.
So here's like my very earliest memory. I remember I was in my parents' restaurant, and I see this like thing just like buzzing around. It was like this black dot just like buzzing around.
Right.
And all I remember thinking was, I want to bat the shit out of this thing. as
a 3-year-old?
As the 3-year-old kid, I'm just like, because it's like moving fast, and I'd never seen a bee before, so I'm just like, I'm gonna bat the shit out of this.
That's like some cat brain right there.
Yeah, right. It's
Like, thing is moving, I must hit it.
literally cat brain. And then all I remember was I tried batting it, and I remember it moving in a circular motion, closing in on my eye. Okay.
Oh my God.
Like it was like this. I remember it.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I feel is just this sharp pain on my fucking eye. And it is like it scarred me for life. This pain I still remember to this day, and this is why I have a phobia of bees, because that shit was so painful. And so I run to my mum, and she looks at my eyes, and I will never forget my mum's face, just like pure shock, just like, oh shit, because the stinger was still in my eyeball. So the bee had stung me on my eyeball. Like it wasn't like,
bullseye, bro.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah,
shit.
exactly. And we had to go to the doctor. We had to go to the doctor because they had to like tweeze out the stinger from my eye.
How did you not go blind from that?
It must have gone deep enough, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it must
I
not.
guess.
It must not have gone deep enough, and I think it was on like the whites of my eye as well, so it wasn't like my pupil. So I'd probably just narrowly escaped blindness from that fucking bee. And yeah, ever since then I learned an important lesson: don't fuck with bees.
Don't fuck with bees. Don't fuck with any wildlife, honestly. That's the advice I always give to people who like want to go to Australia, right? It's like, how do all these Australians avoid all of these like poisonous snakes and spiders? Don't fuck with them, and they won't fuck with you.
subscribe, you get all kind of the friends. And the one and the research if it works.
Like, if you go over to like a poisonous snake and start poking it, yeah, you're gonna get fucking bitten. Don't do that, and they won't bite you. It's really
I
easy.
think most animals don't want to attack you.
No,
Yeah.
it's a defense mechanism,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, don't fuck with them, and they won't fuck with you. Really simple.
Speaking about animals, boys, not that it has anything to do with anime. I want to talk about anime because we haven't done that. In a while.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
I remember when we started off as an anime type podcast, and then we just didn't talk about anime at all.
Yeah. I mean, we always wanted it to be whatever the fuck you want to talk about.
Yeah.
But anime is going to be a big. Like,
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What have you guys been watching recently?
Fuck all, man.
You're not watching anything that's airing right now?
I mean, Aki watched Uzaki-chan the other day.
Ah, how was
And
that?
She watched the first episode, and then she was like, "You're gonna want to watch this." So I watched the first episode actually this morning,
Right.
Like before we came to the office, and I can't fucking stand it. I'm sorry.
Yes, same here.
I'm sorry.
Same here.
Aki fucking hates it. I fucking hate it. It is so fucking boring.
I saw like a clip of it. I haven't watched it, by the way, but I saw a clip where she got stuck in a bush.
Yeah.
And to me, it just looked like the Pornhub thing where they get stuck in the washing machine. You know when they get stuck in the washing machine?
Yeah.
I thought it was a hentai because I was like, oh, is this an evolution
You know,
of the
I think I
stuck
would
in the
enjoy it
laundry?
if it was a hentai,
Yeah,
because
because-
that is like hentai material.
I mean, it's literally like the stuck in the wall tag that you have without the
Yeah.
actual fucking.
I thought because the laundry thing had been blowing up recently and
Yeah.
like the hentai
Yeah.
porn that I thought it was like a
I don't know, man. It's always been a thing in hentai.
It's always been a thing, yeah.
yeah, but I mean, it's propped up a lot in porn recently, so I
Yeah.
thought, oh, it's a hentai thing.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, that's just like what everyone assumes about anime anyway.
Yeah,
It's like, oh,
pretty
it's a hentai thing, right? Yeah.
Animated hentai, yes.
What is it about? Like,
It's literally just a slice of life where you follow this like loud lolly
Big
who has
titty.
big titties. I'm like, I get the appeal of it
why
because
is it
it's
blowing up?
Because of
Because
the
she's
girl.
a loud lolly with big titties. That's why. That's literally it.
It looks shit.
That is her body is her personality.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Like she's become the new meme girl of the month, I guess.
Yeah.
Because the manga has been pretty popular, or at least popular within certain circles. Because I
Yeah.
see her face everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere. I don't
Yeah.
understand why.
I reckon what it is, it's that Uzaki-chan for like this new year, or I guess maybe this, I don't know, I don't want to say this generation, but it's essentially the same as Umaru-chan.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
Umaru-chan is the exact same type of show where if you can stand Umaru-chan and you can relate and like Umaru-chan, then you probably
I couldn't
love
stand
Umaru-chan,
Umaru-chan.
right?
Yeah.
I couldn't stand Umaru-chan. I'm like, this little turd is fucking taking advantage of her brother so fucking hard. I would have slapped the shit out
I
of her
wanted
if
to
that was
curb stomp him.
Dude, legit. Like, I would
in
just.
the-
And
Yeah.
so I feel that Uzaki-chan is like kind of a similar show where, like, if you don't like Uzaki-chan as a character, then you won't be able to stand the show because she is the entire show.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
like
not gonna watch
Watamote
it.
as well, right? Like, if you don't like Kuroki, which I didn't, I couldn't
Yeah.
fucking stand her.
Because like the whole show is just basically her annoying the fuck out of the main character.
Yeah.
And the main character's like, well, I hate you, but you know.
That's her personality trope. Is that she's fucking annoying. Which is
wow.
really funny because people are like, oh, she's not that annoying. When a lot of people don't realize the name Uzaki is a play on words in Japanese for Uzai, which means annoying. That's why she's called Uzaki. It's because she's fucking annoying. And like, because I know so many people, like friends of ours, right? Like Dakota's a fucking massive fan of that show. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, why?
Yeah, Dakota, why?
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 What is it- what is
Why
it-
Dakota?
What does it say about you as a person?
Is it because she has a fucking skin fang and has big tits? Like, is that it? Like, why?
What's with the fang? Why is
I'll
that?
tell you why. It's because the doujinshis are good. But like,
Yeah.
this is like one of those shows where it's its own specific genre now. I swear to God. Where I swear there are just some shows or some manga that I swear people make just because they're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is gonna be good doujinshi material.
Yeah, that's
like,
what it,
that's gonna be the top
That's
tier
the
doujinshi
genre of these
material.
shows. It's
Yeah.
the genre is doujinshi material.
Yeah,
That's what it
because
is.
they always have like the meme girl. Like it's always focused on this one meme girl that a lot of people may find annoying,
Mm.
but for some reason she just works in really good. Like in any situations in doujinshis, they're just golden.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
because as much as I don't dig the Uzaki-chan anime, man, the Uzaki-chan doujins are fucking lit. My God.
You guys are degenerates.
Every single one that I have seen so
I-
far, I'm just like, damn,
I
son.
wish I could read porn. I just can't. Monkey brain, man. It's like.
I mean, you don't have to. I mean,
You can't. You
wish I
don't
could've
read
read-
anyway, let alone read porn.
Yeah. So how am I gonna read? That's even worse than the gaming thing with reading. Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
read my porn. I want shitty acting, and I want to skip to 5 minutes in and then decide what I'm gonna do.
it's because Uzaki-chan's personality is so fit for doujinshis because she's like that, like always teasing kind of character, right? And I'm just like, well, if you put that in the sexual aspect, man, that makes for some spicy doujins.
Yeah.
And they are. They're really fucking good. And her big tits don't help. Honestly, her body proportions do not help. Right?
Yeah.
I don't think I would enjoy the Uzaki-chan doujins if her body was just like normal.
Yeah, exactly.
But because it's so disproportionate and built for doujins, I'm
Yeah.
just like, they were clearly planning for this.
It's just the show that's made for hentai.
It
Like
is.
even more so than some fan service ecchi shows. There are like some ecchi shows, and then there are ecchi shows that are made, I feel, just for like the fan material under the
Yeah,
doujins. And
it's
everything
like
that.
like being like, oh yes, this new Erage came out, but I'm gonna get the all ages version instead. Like,
Yeah.
Why would you do that to yourself? Why? What's the point in that?
So out of 10, the first episode.
It's like a 3.
Yeah.
Wow, that's,
At least.
that sounds generous.
It looks good. That's all I'm gonna like. Uzaki-chan. Okay, I'll admit Uzaki-chan's character design, fucking amazing. I love it. It's great.
I reckon that's why a lot of people got drawn into it because her character design is great.
It's
I
great.
love her character design,
Yeah.
and she has such a good memeable face. You know that one girl every season that just has the best facial expression.
Oh, yeah.
Like this season, it's definitely Uzaki-chan. Like
Yeah.
her smug face, the smug energy, man.
The smug face. Yeah, that's what it is.
She's got like the perfect smug
Yeah.
face.
But other than that,
Anime fans are just
Yeah.
like, it's a great show. It's got a smug face. I'm sold. I'll pay.
It's this is art. This is
Yeah,
art.
yeah, yeah.
Congratulations, smug face.
Anime fans are the real monkey brains. Can I just say that? Like,
I just like genuinely want to know, like, for people who are watching this right now and saying that they love Uzaki-chan, what is it about the show that you like? Because I tried, right?
Yeah.
I always do my best, even if it's a show I don't like. I'm like, okay, why is it that people are getting into this show? Like, what aspects is it?
Yeah.
And I looked at Uzaki-chan and I'm just like, the only thing I can think of is her tits. Like, that's the only redeeming factor about this show.
And I feel bad because I feel like that's the easy to go to joke
Yeah.
of like, oh, this show has no substance or anything. But I legitimately like I'm just curious. I want to know why people
Yeah,
like it.
it's not like I'm like trying to like diss on people who like the show, like by all means, right? But I just want to know like what is it? Is it the tits? Because if that's the case,
Is this like a call for help? It's like,
because if that's the case, right, then you could literally just be like, okay, I fucking hate this anime, but if I add tits, 7 out of 10.
this feels like an intervention. It's like, just admit you have problems. Just tell us.
Just admit that you like the tits, and that's the only reason why I enjoy this show.
What have you been watching anything else this season, Joey, or not?
Not really, no.
Because I'll tell you what I've been watching. Rent a Girlfriend.
Yeah, me too.
And that is that a guilty pleasure? I don't know if that's a guilty pleasure.
I genuinely think it's like the best show this season.
I think it's a really good show.
Would you say it's the best show this season, though, Gaunt?
I mean, ReZero is ReZero
okay.
head and shoulders above the rest.
Oh, yeah,
at the
yeah.
moment.
Okay,
ReZero
actually, yeah, the
season
last
2.
episode. Have you watched the last episode?
Yeah, I've
Oh
watched
my
that.
god, I was crying like a fucking baby.
Like ReZero
shit.
we'll get into ReZero in a minute, but
Yeah.
Rent a Girlfriend,
Yeah.
that is just, why does it work? Because it's such a generic harem plot, right?
I hate the protagonist, so.
Yeah, oh.
Because I read the synopsis of that, I'm
Yeah.
like, this seems really incelly. Like,
No,
it seems like it's made for incel.
like the protagonist is a living bruh moment. Like, every time he does something, I'm like, for fuck's sake, why are you doing this, bruh? Seriously, bruh?
No, bro. The problem is, right now that this anime comes out, people are gonna be like, "Well, we should actually make this a thing." And they're gonna be like, "We should do this. This is
Yeah,
normal.
yeah.
We should normalize this. We
Yeah.
should normalize paying girls." We already do that with online, with the,
Yeah, right.
the gaming. Ufuel.gg or something, whatever it is.
yeah, gamergold.gg or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever the fuck you.
No, I'm surprised you're enjoying it though. Considering
Yeah, it's really fun. I mean, I hate the main character, and I saw when you tweeted out saying like, "Oh, he's irredeemable." There were people like, "No, oh, he's not irredeemable." You know, it's like, bro, he's annoying as fuck.
That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
incels, like protecting their boy.
I know it's probably like the manga readers who's like, well, he gets
Yeah,
character
later on, I'm
development.
sure he will, yeah.
yeah, which I'm looking forward to seeing him become a better person. But right now, I can't remember what I called him. I think it was like a
Cum stain or
like a cum stain of a protagonist.
Which is so accurate. It's so accurate. He's a cum stain.
The way I view him is like, I fucking hate Bakugo from My Hero Academia.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
everyone fucking loves him, and I'm like, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He's so selfish.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you people like? Why are you bullying me? I'm right. Like,
Yeah, because I think that's the thing that really pissed me off, which is how selfish he was.
he's so selfish.
He is ridiculously selfish, and like if you're one of those people who like relate to him, and no, because
It's the people who like related to Subaru in the start. It's like, what's wrong with you?
it's like, okay, like if you are my mate and you were acting like him, I would have like I would need a talking to you.
Yeah.
I would have to talk to you.
You would catch these hands.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
exactly. Because the person who I liked the most wasn't him, but he was his best mate.
Yeah.
Like he was a true bro.
Yeah.
Who was looking out for him and everything. And so far, the main protagonist hasn't done anything that's made me feel like, man, he deserves best girl. Man, he deserves his bros.
He doesn't, yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing his character development, which I assume is what happens
Still,
in the
but-
manga.
Or it's the manga readers
Okay.
just being the manga
If
readers.
this,
being like,
if this was shit that happened in real life, and this was in like your friend groups, you'd never be forgiven for doing the shit that he's pulled.
You would absolutely be clowned on by
Yeah,
your
so he
bros.
like rents a girlfriend. She's great, you know. I mean, this is spoilers for like first 3 episodes. And
Yeah.
then, you know, this girl that dumped him, he immediately gets back with her, even though she's talking shit about him in
Yeah.
front of his friend. And it's like, what? I can't believe this shit. This is where you would be like, wow, this guy's my friend. Like,
Yeah.
This is where you would be like, no.
I'm friends with an absolute cunt. Right?
This selfish asshole. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
And like it's one of the first harem anime where there's clearly a best girl because
Yeah.
Chizuru,
Oh,
fucking girl of the season. She's like MVP.
She's coming through.
Yeah.
Like, she's not only like helping him out. She's
Yeah.
like with the grand situation. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Helping him out. Oh.
Like I'm there in my corner, like I'm fucking cheering, but at the same time, I kind of don't want to cheer as well because cheering means that she has to end up with this person at the moment, and it's so hard to like be like, woo, go protagonist.
I hope she gets like a Giga Chad just to make incels mad. I want incels mad, bro. Man, seeing the incel takes on Twitter, man, they get me fucking fuming. I'm like, oh my god, you guys have never left your room. Like,
Is this your first like harem anime that you've been following then?
weekly?
Because harem anime don't really seem like a thing you would watch.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised when I heard you were watching it.
I mean, I normally watch them, but I think because they make life so difficult for themselves, it's so frustrating to watch. It's like you didn't have to make this difficult. You made your life shit.
Yeah.
You could have spoke to her, but you fucking sat there. Like, okay, one thing that you would never do in real life, right? If your girlfriend, whatever, walks off, even if it's your rental girlfriend,
Yeah.
you go after her. That's just
That's
a universal thing. Like even like idiots and
Yeah.
people who are the most nervous people on earth and shy, they go after the person.
Yeah,
who's
yeah,
there.
yeah,
yeah.
And if they don't, your friends will immediately be like, "Yo, dude, go."
Yeah,
right now."
yeah.
Like the thing that pissed me off is like in a lot of these situations, his friends are acting like his friends should act. They're like, bro, get your girl, get your girl, and he's getting angry that they don't know the full situation, even though he's put himself in this situation.
Bro, you go after the girl if she storms out angry. That's like rule number one.
Exactly.
Like, even if it's a fake girlfriend, I would still go after my girl. You know?
Yeah.
The
exactly.
the reason why I don't think I like harems is because like maybe in my head I'm like I'm trying to speed run it in my mind. I'm like, what would I do for optimal strats to get the girl? Like, no, you did the wrong route here. You just lost 20 seconds. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but I think that's the problem, right? Is like you're trying to like watch these kinds of shows
to relate to like.
Well,
Yeah.
no, you're basically, if we're relating it to like speedruns, right? Like you're trying to be like, all right, how am I going to speedrun this while watching 100% run? That's what it is. It's like, why aren't they taking the optimal route? Not knowing that they're trying to do 100% route.
I think you put harems into like the wrong genre then.
I don't know. I just most of the stories I find really underwhelming, and I don't like some of them I've really enjoyed.
Yeah.
But some of them.
Oh no, a lot of them are very like, come
generic.
on, bro, just get to the fucking
But
point.
most of them, like, you watch 3 and you feel like you've watched all of Harem. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I mean, for me, the closest thing I would relate harem to actually is sports, because okay, here's the thing. Here's the
is the formula.
Here's the enjoyable part of a harem, right? It's picking a team, picking your girl, and then fucking like cheering for her. You know, this isn't about speed running the shit. This is about getting cock teased about who the protagonist is going to end up with.
But sometimes, I guess that's Harem. Sorry, I was about to say if there's only one main, I was like, that's not
yeah, exactly.
That's just a romance at that point.
Yeah.
Romance, I don't like. Romance, harem is, but about 90% of harems you already know.
Wait, but why don't you like romances then? Because that's a speed run, if anything.
Because sometimes they just do dumb shit in it. And I'm like, no one would
Well, they
ever
have
do
to
this.
make a cohesive story, right? They're not just gonna be like, all right, I met this girl, episode 1, episode 3, I'm together. End of the story,
And
baby.
sometimes they do shit in romance that I'm like, okay, I know it shouldn't be realistic, but then also there's just some stuff that's like hard for me to ever believe would ever happen.
Right.
I'm trying to think of a case. I can't off the top
What
of my
romance anime have you even seen then?
Yeah.
head. Name a bunch of iconic ones, and I'll say.
Golden Time.
Yeah, Golden Time I really
Toradora?
liked. Toradora I really liked. Yeah, I think I like most of them. I just never seek them out. Like, it's something that if a friend recommends and I have nothing better to do and I put it on, I'll probably enjoy it. But it's not a thing that I seek out for myself. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this, especially those people who watch like only shonen. They're like, get that shit out of here.
Yeah. There was a fight scene.
But like Harem especially, I feel that most shows that I've watched, it's like, oh, that's the one. If any of these girls are going to get it, which is, even a mystery, because 90% of the time, nothing fucking happens. It's like, oh, the protagonist's a perv. That's the show. And it ends, right? What was that one from a few years ago where it was like they were all like wizards and the one guy could like counter magic and it was fucking awful.
You just described like fucking 90% of most like magic high school harem shows.
Yeah, and it'll be like eight girls, and they all have one personality trait, and that's it. And it's like the most boring shit.
Wait, are you talking about Index? That's
that's what I thought.
That's the only thing, like counter magic.
Wait, Index is the guy who he's like the
he has like the right hand that can counter like magic and.
There's also the irregular of Magic High School.
Index.
Yeah.
Those I love that series.
Yeah.
No, it was around the same season.
Infinite Stratos.
I don't fucking know this guy. It was.
They all sound the same.
Yeah.
It's like
It's all the same
Wars.
shit.
Yeah.
I'll try and find it to get.
Let's like trying to pinpoint an East guy by saying, what was that one show where that guy gets transported to the other world?
Yeah. What's
and
that
like
called?
gets overpowered and stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, if I find what it is, it's on the screen right now. If not, I'm just holding my hands up like an asshole.
Night in Magic, maybe that one.
I'll find.
They're
I'll
all
find
They're
it.
all crap.
It was garbage.
The thing about harem anime is that I can never watch 2 at once, right? Because when I'm watching 2 at once, that's like me watching the same show twice. But every time a new one comes on, then this time it's Rent a Girlfriend. And what I will say about Rent a Girlfriend is that it's just very addicting to watch.
Yeah, it is.
Just,
it is.
I think it's because the main character character is the way he is as well. Because you're sitting there fuming, but you click on that next episode because you want to you're like cheering for him to become a better guy and just to act the way that you want him to act.
Isn't it funny how it's like the opposite of real life? You're like, the moment you see people like, get out of my life. I don't know. But in anime, please get better. Come on, I know you.
Come on, you can do it. You can do it.
Like imagine the scenario of Rent a Girlfriend in real life. You know, like
really interesting.
One of your mates,
Especially in this climate. As
yeah,
well.
exactly. You find out one of your mates is paying for like a girl just to rent her as a girlfriend and parade her around, and you're like, bro, that's a real bro moment. That ain't cool.
I can think of like several people who would do that.
But like in anime, for some reason, I don't know why, because sometimes there's scenarios that I feel wouldn't work in real life or even in like live action
that's
series.
true.
But because it's anime and because it's animated, my suspension of disbelief is just a bit more. So I
guess
can
also
get
'cause
into it.
you get to hear their like thought process and,
Yeah.
and actually like hear that they have compassion and stuff. So you can kind of sympathize.
Yeah, because a live action Rent a Girlfriend would be probably one of the cringiest things you'll ever watch.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Just be
Yeah,
like,
it would
no,
be pretty
please
awful.
don't.
Yeah. So have you ever like completed a harem anime to the end where
Yeah,
best
yeah.
girl wins?
Oh, I don't know if a best girl. Wait. What name a few famous harem anime?
Nisekoi,
Sequoia I didn't watch.
Tolover,
I didn't watch Tolover.
Orimo.
Man, I don't think I've watched many.
Eromanga Sensei.
The World God Only Knows.
The World God Only Knows I watched.
Or to the end.
Yeah, all like 3 seasons or whatever.
Oh
Yeah.
damn.
And that was good. But I don't remember what
That
happened.
doesn't seem like a show you would watch.
No,
So I'm just
exactly.
like,
Yeah.
oh, he watched that one.
I watched
okay.
all of it, and then I was like, wait, I have to read the manga now?
Yeah.
What do you mean? We have 3 seasons. Don't stop now.
feel like that.
Keep
It'd feel
going. I thought normally when it gets to season 3, that's normally like, all right, we're in here for the long run.
Yeah.
Now. Keep going.
Well-
and then it just ended, and I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? That was a really good show. I love that
So
show.
you've never gone to the end where like there's a winning girl, where there's an actual
there's, like,
girl
a
that
clear
wins.
winner.
Where
I
there's a clear
probably
winner.
have. I probably just can't remember it.
Well, yeah, because they're all probably generic.
Yeah. It's like, again, like we all know I have monkey brain. Most of the anime that's like, if it's not an 8 out of 10 or higher for me, it probably is like in the forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the meh category.
It's in
right?
the in the like, okay, it's good, but not good enough for me to like retain memories of it.
Yeah. No, because that's the reason I watch harem anime, because once you watch one, you basically watch them all. So to me,
I love watching the same thing over again.
I mean, I do watch all the isekai.
You are talking
I'm
about the isekai man. He's the isekai man, after all.
But I don't know. It's just fun being in the race, right? And part of the fun is being in the community and seeing all the salt and tears from the losers. I mean, it's like real sport. Part of the fun is shitting on the losing side.
It's like a very, very long sports game.
Yeah.
It is. And
12-week long sports game, right?
and that's why you get so invested in it, because you're reading this manga. Normally it's a manga because the anime I can like, it's really rare for an anime harem to actually go through to the end.
Yeah.
So you normally follow the manga for like weeks and weeks, and sometimes it's years. And that final chapter where your girl wins, man, that's like a euphoric feeling.
Wouldn't know.
I've experienced that recently with what the fuck's it? Bokutachi Benkyo Dekinai?
We never learn.
We never learned.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because they recently like ended that. And best girl won, and I was just like, yes, finally, thank you.
If you had to give me a recommendation for a harem manga to read, what would you tell me?
I would recommend We Never Learn. Yeah, that's really cute. And like, I've read so much harem stuff, and this is one of the few series where I'm just like, wow, I like all of these girls. Like, there isn't a single girl. Like, all of these girls can easily win.
Yeah.
And all of these girls are fucking awesome.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
fair.
I wasn't too mad. Well, I mean, I was happy because my favorite one won.
Yeah.
But I think when I saw around in the community when like people were rooting for other girls, they were like, you know, my girl didn't win, but I ain't complaining. You know, I'll take the second place. It's all right. It's like, it's all good, man. It's all fun.
Just seeing how people justify their losing position it's beautiful when you're in that winning girl. When you're backing that winning horse, it's just like, oh, the tears taste so good, man. But I mean, you're watching one now with Rent a Girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like, would you follow up on the manga if the anime ends and then you just
If I'm really into it, yeah, I probably would.
yeah?
It'd have to be damn good though. It'd have to end like on an amazing clip.
Do you read a lot of manga?
It's hard because I feel that the time when I would read manga, I'm normally doing something else.
Like I've seen you like reading quite a few manga. I mean, you read all of like
yeah.
Terraformers.
If I read a
like,
manga,
Ants.
it's like non-stop.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I can't put it down. so it's very like hard for me to get into
So
it.
I don't think it's included if it's like currently serialized.
Yeah, I don't read currently serializing except for One Punch Man.
Yeah.
That's always